I want to bring in Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Mr. Secretary, thank you so much for being with us. And I wonder what you're hearing from officials about the scope of the need for people in places like Georgia, Florida, North Carolina. The president said today 10 different states impacted by Helene.
Chris, thank you for having me. The impact of Hurricane Helene is historic in the tragedy that it has wreaked. It has stretched a distance that is unprecedented, and it is very, very important that individuals impacted by the hurricane listen to their local officials and provide and follow the guidance that those local officials have provided. Our hearts break for the families who have lost loved ones. We are still very much in a search and rescue mode. We have our search and rescue teams on the ground at multiple locations. More than 3,600 personnel have been deployed, 1,000 or so of which are FEMA personnel. We are in close touch with state and local officials. We are co-located in local emergency operations centers. We are deploying all sorts of assets and resources to the impacted communities. We are very engaged and will be increasingly so as the hours unfold.
Well, we know that it is extraordinarily difficult in a situation like this to get good numbers, but we are told that there are hundreds of people yet unaccounted for. Do you have a good sense at this hour, Mr. Secretary, if that's simply because people are off the grid, or maybe do we think that there are a lot of people still waiting to be rescued? What do we know?
Chris, we have to remember the devastating impacts are still being felt by the hurricane. We have communication systems down, and so it's very difficult to reach people. We also have to remove debris that can thwart access of the search and rescue teams, which is why we're also using air assets. We're still very much in the midst of this. We've done a tremendous amount, though, already. We have rescued hundreds and hundreds of people. We have delivered 1.9 million ready meals. We've delivered 1 million liters of water, 95,000 tarps. We are surging all resources, not just federally within the Department of Homeland Security, but at the president's direction, from the Department of Defense, the Department of Energy, the Environmental Protection Agency, Health and Human Services, the Army Corps of Engineers. This is an all of government effort with, critically, the state and local governments, the first responder community.
We hear time and again, and we've heard it over the last couple of days, Mr. Secretary, from folks who say maybe they've lost everything, but they feel lucky to be alive. They feel grateful that they and their family may be safe. Not everyone has that luxury, for lack of a better word. I want to read to you something that the mayor of Canton, North Carolina said, talking about the frustration that a lot of people feel about the lack of communication. Here's what he said. "It is unacceptable and disgusting that in our time of need, cellular service for the entire region is blocked out. There's no excuse for that. I mean, we knew the storm was coming. I can't believe this is a normalcy." Is this a systemic problem? Is this something that is going to be more and more normal as we see more and more devastating storms? What do you say to people who are desperate to find out whether people they love are still alive?
I well understand the concerns expressed. These are people in the midst of a tragic hurricane. That is precisely why we and others have been deploying communications resources to ensure that communication is reinstated as quickly as possible. The reality is that the severity and frequency of extreme weather events are only increasing. And it is precisely why our infrastructure is in such need of improvement and strengthening, which is why the historic infrastructure funds that the president has delivered for the American people are so incredibly crucial, especially at this time as we build for the weather of today and tomorrow, not according to the weather of yesterday.
So in the short term, in the shorter term, you have people still without power, no cell service, no running water, no gas. There are people who were going to places where they knew they might be able to get cell service, but then they ran out of gas. I mean, it's just one story after another, heartbreak, frustration. Do you have a good sense now of, for example, as you say, you are surging resources there, how long it might be before at least the basics are in place for most people?
Chris, this is an incredibly difficult situation. It is a very tragic situation. There are areas where we have to clear the path to be able to reach people. Debris removal is an urgency. As I mentioned at the very outset, we are still in search and rescue mode in some areas that have been devastated by this unprecedented, this historic hurricane. We are doing everything that we can and more. And the president has communicated directly to all of us that we are to stop at nothing. There is no limitation to every ounce of energy that we should dedicate to the people impacted by Hurricane Helene, and that is indeed what we are doing.
We are just about out of time, but I do want to ask you if you feel you have the resources you need right now.
We most certainly do, and we are dedicating those resources. We have declared major disasters and provided available resources to 3 of the 6 impacted states. We've declared emergencies in all of the 6 states. People can access assistance right now, both immediate needs and restorative resources.